Hello, now I'm going to do a short stream, probably about 30 minutes, because I've had a pretty busy day today. One of those days, where I didn't know if I'd be able to get time to do a stream, and in the end I have been able to get on at the usual time, but I don't want to be doing, like an hour plus today, just because busy day, I'm going to have a busy day again tomorrow, so I'd like to just do a short stream that's to the point, good fun for everybody involved, all that sort of thing. So I hope everybody's all right. Weirdest thing today, I filmed this for a video today. But the rain was radioactive, about 0.1 millirad on the IMD5 as opposed to 0.025 millirad, regular background. So hello to everybody that's joining. Yeah, I'm alright, Andrak. I'm a bit tired today. Going to be working all day tomorrow, so all that sort of stuff. All right, Mr. Live Era, what happened was it turns out they haven't delivered that yet. It had put the tracking number for another parcel right next to that one. So it looked like it was saying that had been delivered, but the tracking number was actually for a different parcel. So it's not turned up yet. All right, Adam. I didn't get a chance to take a reading with other Geigers because I said I was out and about and I just had that one with me. Yeah, there's barely anything Boldentowski though. If you've got Geiger counters and you notice a spike due to something, there's never anything on the news. But yeah, I was doing it with. I haven't actually put the crate back in here yet. I was going to say the crate would have been the one there, but I've not actually even put it away yet. It was the IMD5. No, I know Australia does a couple of sort of masks, either under license or not license, of other sort of series of masks, but yeah, so it was 4 times background radiation where I took the reading inside a building, like the reading inside, it was 4 times bigger outside. Because that's a really nice thing, at least with the IMD5, like the old DP5s, is you can put the, probe on the extension wand and actually run it along the floor properly without having to, bend down like that to take a reading off the floor. Yeah, it will genuinely be a short stream today, as in 30 minutes. It won't be like one that ends up being an hour and a bit. I have no idea what you're on about, Eric. I've played a couple of Elder Scrolls games, but I don't know what you mean by rewriting it. Postscriptum, it sounds familiar. Is that like a World War game? Let me Google it. Oh, it's the one that's like a realistic World War II one, isn't it? No, I've not played that one. I've played like Red Orchestra and those, but I've not played Postscriptum. Bit of a strange week, Tyrick, as I've said before. Was told a relative had cancer, and then 2 days later he was told that the hospital fucked up and he didn't have cancer. So basically lots of relatives, including me, were thought, shit, that's awful, including his wife and everything. And then he was literally told, oh, wait, sorry, you fucked up your diagnosis, you don't have cancer. So obviously it's good he doesn't have cancer, but that was like a really kind of big blow at the beginning of this week, only to find out he didn't have cancer. And also there's just been stuff like where I had to get a coronavirus test and just turned out I was negative again because I was in contact with 2 people that were positive. But thankfully I didn't pick it out from them, probably because I wear a mask a lot when I'm outside. But right, Lewis, I'll explain again. Stug, people have mentioned that, but I've not looked into it properly yet, or at least not played it or whatever. Or, like not looked at many trailers for it. Right, Lewis, they haven't delivered it. What it was is that it showed the tracking number for the booze, the toffee apple cider, next to a tracking number for something else that had been delivered for some reason. So when I clicked it and looked at more details, it was something that was delivered on, I think, the 2nd of October. But it just displays it next to it because it's put 2 things next to each other on a bad interface. No, I don't like writing on paper, if you're asking that sort of thing, Eric. I type most things up because I've got awful handwriting. Yeah, I wonder what was Radiac Maniac, because, again, most areas around here are about the 0.2 microsieverts level. So it would have been about 0.6 to 0.8 microsieverts, I imagine, if I had a standard Geiger on me. Right, Flazzy just asked the same question I've just answered again. Yeah, well, Lewis, one of them's an alcoholic, so, I think I'd know where it had gone if that was the case. But yeah, I'll show you, see if it makes sense to you on here. It was just an awful way the tracking thing's set up. So let's get it up. But I can probably demonstrate it all right on here. Let me just turn off airplane mode. Right, so I want to get my messages up. And I can get the tracking thing up. Right, okay. So basically, if this makes sense to you, the tracking number that appears there is actually a different order. But it looks like that. It says like that's tracking thing. And that's been delivered. But what it's actually saying is that's a separate order that just shows up on the same tracking thing. And the side is a different thing. It's just a shit sort of layout. I've had surplus before Iron Drac that says it's like as new condition. It's blatantly been used quite a bit. Yeah, so again, that's like 3 times background. It's weird, isn't it? Because I've not heard of anything, like any new fires at nuclear waste sites or anything like that. No, Iron Drac, let me Google it, but that sounds good. Because as you probably know, I'm a big fan of beers and that. At the moment, I've got some quite expensive bourbon at the moment. Well, technically it's not bourbon because it's a Jack Daniel's spin-off. And it can't be bourbon if it's not from Kentucky. But let me search Gulden Drac, which is probably pronounced horribly wrong. Dutch for Golden Dragon is a dark Belgian beer of high alcohol by volume, 10.5%. I'm sold on it. Let me bookmark it. 10.5% volume for a beer. Yes, please. John, question mark, question mark, question mark. Nearly all from eBay. Yeah, the one I've got at the moment is this one, which is quite interesting tasting. Yeah, the video will be live. I think it's next Friday. Let me double check, but I'm pretty certain it's next Friday I've scheduled the video for, because I was literally just going to film with the IMD5, where I had a big space to use it, the one doing that, expecting it just to be background levels, and then it ended up being like 3 or 4 times background levels. And it's not the counter being like contaminated or something, because I tested it when I was inside and it immediately went back down to normal levels. Yeah, so it's scheduled for November the 6th, which is next Friday. So the video's coming up. There's a Halloween Creepy Stories video coming up on tomorrow, Halloween. Wednesday, there's a video coming up, like a review of the IMD5. And then there's actually on Friday next week a test video of the IMD5 being exposed to radiation in the rain. I don't know quite what you're asking there, A4 Steam Enthusiast. If you're saying if you have a mask filter that's 40mm like DIN or something, and you have a 40mm DIN thread, then in theory, yes, they should fit together fine. As I just said, Glenn, nearly always off eBay. Now and again, Army surplus stores, but sadly they're a rarity now. But for the most part, it's eBay, other than places where it's stuff that eBay can't legally sell and you have to go to a specialist. Well, I've cleaned the probe, Radiac Maniac, if that's what you mean. Or do you mean like wiping down stuff outside to take readings? But like my point was, the outside readings in loads of areas were 3 times higher than what they should have been. Depends completely, Joe, on the seller. Because eBay is not one seller. I'll have to try that, Sparrow. I've not heard of that one. I know what Captain Morgan's is, obviously. Captain Morgan TP. Let me search that one. So is this the pineapple and mango one? It looks like it's pretty similar to what I've got here, you know, like it's a more, like, not as high ABV as the regular Spirit, but that kind of thing. I've never used the PMK2. I've used the PMK1 and the PMK3. I've never used the PMK2. What was your, I'm assuming first bayonet, Great Britain, not a fisting bayonet, but what was the bayonet you got? Because I find bayonets pretty cool, so what was the bayonet you got? Let me look it up for you, Vrantrix, because I can never remember the name of this one without looking it up. So let me just DX Diag. There we go. It is AMD Radeon RX 5700 XT. It was just when I bought the PC, it was AMD's best GPU, other than, like, you know, the actual ones for, like, processing stuff rather than playing games. It was cheaper than, like, a 1080. I think it was about the price for 1070, but it works better on paper. Oh yeah, I just saw that Sparrow when I googled it. It was like, yeah, like it's one of those shaped glasses, isn't it? Oh, that's cool. So you've got an M1907 Great Britain, but yeah, the amazing Lee Enfield giant sword bayonet. If I had it still in this room behind me, I'd hold it up now, but it's on top of my Lee Enfield still mounted in the corner of one of the other rooms, and I can't show guns on streams because of YouTube policy. But yeah, did you see the video I did the other day where I actually can properly slice a pumpkin in half an M1907 bayonet if you do that with the rifle because of all the weight behind it? Yeah, as I said before, nearly every mask and all that I got from eBay. There's one or two I've got from surplus stores and things like that, and other surplus websites, but I'd say 95% of what I buy is from eBay. Basically turns it into a pole arm, doesn't it, Balding Towski, when you've got that much weight behind it? It really surprised me for a bayonet, but I suppose that was back when, you know, they thought you have to chop horses up with a rifle. All right, AK-47. Yeah, 17-inch blade on those. Because, yeah, like modern military bayonets, if we just get a size comparison out. So you have like an AK bayonet, and that's still like the size of modern standard bayonets, you know, for the countries that still issue bayonets. They're only like that big. If you get some proper decent old bayonets that aren't even Enfield sized, they're you know, that big. The Enfield one is like twice the length for this one because it's designed to actually be you know, used to outreach enemy bayonets. Yeah, it's a shame that they cheapened them down later on. I mean, I can obviously understand completely why they did. Because, yeah, the later Lee Enfield bayonets are essentially just spikes. They just went with a cruciform design. So, yeah, later Lee Enfield bayonets are just these. A cruciform spike that was designed just to plug onto the end of a number 4's, you know, barrel, essentially. But, yeah, as much as this is actually worse if you get stabbed by it, I definitely prefer, like, the massive sword bayonets, just because they've got a much cooler, you know, cool factor to them. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff inside them, isn't there? Inductive TK can, like the old iron chambers, all that sort of thing. I don't ever take them apart if there's something that might break if I open them up and they work perfectly otherwise. But a lot of the old ones you can't power or use properly anymore are pretty fascinating to look inside. I'd say no, Joe. Currently, there's no videos on Gas Mask scheduled I haven't uploaded yet, but I haven't filmed one on this yet, so there'll be one coming on this at some point, but I've not got around to filming it yet. Oh, for somebody saying what was my favourite Soviet weapon, I mean, out of conventional weapons, maybe AK-74s. But the Soviets made loads of cool stuff in terms of small arms and things like that. Right, Rob. Yeah, I heard something like that. I think the problem is, I'll block that person seeing as they keep spamming the chat. It's just somebody trying to sell people goods on here. And again, I don't mind if they were a legit seller, it wouldn't be a problem, but I have no way of backing up if they're actually going to scam people or not. But yeah, what was I saying about you'd have to ask your parents or like guardian Great Britain, because I think technically you have to show a ID to be 18. But I think if a guardian or like a parent wants to get one for you and like give you permission to have one, I think that would be okay. You have to click on the little dots by their name, Radiac Maniac. You're a mod, so you can do it. But yeah, Soviet small arms, the PPS 43 I really like, but I don't actually have a PPS 43. But you know, like the really kind of simplified, cheap, good submachine gun they made. Obviously, AKMs, AK-47s, AK-74s. I mean, there's so many nice Soviet small arms or Russian small arms. But I'd say AK-74s are probably some of my favorites, just because it's that kind of nice hybrid between it being a very reliable assault rifle and a very kind of high-tech assault rifle. Where obviously AR-15 M16 platform was a bit more high-tech, but not quite as reliable. You know, whereas the AK-74 is a very nice cartridge and a very reliable gun. No, sadly, I don't, Gopnik. I know of some Czech Geiger counters as well as the Yugoslavian ones, but I've never seen them for like less than 100, sort of £200. So I've never bought them. Once I've got the bunker, I might have a bit more disposable income for stuff like that. But at the moment, you know, it's kind of like I might buy one Geiger or something like that per month. That's kind of my limit. Hyde user is banning them, yes. But the one I've got potentially a DP2 on order, that some of you might have heard, which would be absolutely excellent for doing videos on. Because Hype put me in touch with a Russian who probably can sell me one. So assuming it's not a scam, I will be getting a DP2, which I'm really looking forward to. And the last sort of Geiger thing I bought was an IMD5. Cheers, TXE Gaming. 13 o'clock podcast is one of the few channels I support on Patreon. It should not be in this Euro Truck sim thing. Has nothing to do with Euro Truck Simulator, as much as I like that idiotic stuff and American Truck Simulator. But this is certainly not a European Truck Simulator stream. That's very good on the date, Great Britain, because that's only 2 years into their production. Right, for all the people saying, can you show this mask? You know, what is your favourite mask? I won't bother answering those questions because they get asked every stream, and I think most people know the answer. I'll try and answer people's questions that are asking interesting things, but... Oh, yours is actually mounted as it, Spooky. Well, bolt actions, Fluzzy, are brilliant, aren't they, in terms of reliability? It's down to your strength to eject a cartridge and put a new one into battery. You know, there's no issue with, you know, like an automatic feeding mechanism that might go wrong. I suppose there's a magazine spring sort of issue potentially in some of them. Get what cheap in Palestine? Sorry, what Israeli gas mask you on about, or what? Sorry, Al Ryan, I don't know what you're on about then if you were ratting somebody. But yeah, 13 o'clock podcast. They do videos on like serial killers, paranormal stuff. Yeah, it's just a channel I really enjoy. There's still loads of gas masks I don't have, Tyrick. Basically, look up one of those massive sites with a huge collection of gas masks and then look against the ones I have. For the most part, I've just got some of the most standard ones produced by most nations, you know. So if you think of like the most mass-produced British masks, I've got those, you know, and all like that sort of thing. But when it comes to really weird masks from every country, I don't have anywhere near that many. Yeah, that's the thing, Dopnik Studio. They have one of the most active check sources in any Geiger. Wow, it's an ionization chamber, not a Geiger counter, but yeah. That's why I want one. Although, obviously, they're only like a third of the strength they used to be due to the half-life of strontium-90. Oh, anything on eBay isn't very hard to buy. I'm trying to think if there's anything I've bought that was like through a really weird site to use or through like a dodgy private sale. That'd be really cool, AK-47, if you do. But yeah, old, like, knives, trench knives, that sort of thing are really cool, aren't they? Bayonet and all those sort of things. But yeah, the crazy thing with those Gopnik studios, when you see all the videos of them in, like, the former Soviet Union sort of places, whether it be Russia or some of the other sort of, you know, former Soviet bloc countries, where people have just dumped them in landfills, and you think, fucking hell, there's literally massive bits of radioactive waste in landfills. I do have an East German NVA helmet. Is it visible in the background there? Because I think it's in that pile of helmets there. Yeah, it is. I won't get it out because it's under a pile of things. But if you see there's some strict arm. That's the East German helmet there. The Romanians had quite a similar looking helmet to the East German one. But yeah, the East German helmet is there. It's just got the strict arm cover on it. If you mean 40mm GOST filters, depends on which type of GOST filter it is and what you're using it against. There's not really a how long do filters last easy answer. That's very cool, Great Britain. Hello, CLBT. That's a very strange way of saying hello, but hello. I don't know why you would need a USB to plug into a gun, but okay. Can you put a picture of it somewhere, Steve? Because if you could put a picture, somebody you might know what it is might be able to identify it. But just from the word Cold War device, I would have no clue, you know. M56s are really cool helmets, aren't they, Stug? I'd say the Yugoslavian M59 has overtaken it now as my favourite steel pot, just because they're both pretty similar in terms of protection, but the Yugo M59 has a better liner and sits really well on my head. And I love the Yugo's Titans thing like that. No AK, because I'm at work tomorrow for most of the day. So if I get back in the evening, I'm going to be pretty exhausted from work, and Weapon Collector's going to be doing a really long Halloween video tomorrow. So I'll be watching. I'll probably, hopefully, be on for some of Weapon Collector's one. I mean, there's always a chance if I get home from work early for some reason, which I doubt, and I've got the energy, I might do a stream, but generally I'm always home from work late, not early, and then going, oh, kill me. What mask have you got, Wayland, that's got a leaking exhale valve? It's probably that the rubber's folded the wrong way. Alright, Ethan, weirdly I was playing, if I'm pronouncing your name right, weirdly I was playing a load of Fallout New Vegas earlier, which is, you know, around Nevada-y sort of area. Soapy water, Christopher, I'd say is the best answer. What you're probably going to find with those is that the standard, have I got a mask where I can demonstrate it? Show it pretty easily on this. You've probably got whatever sort of umbrella valve is being used as the exhale valve has probably come loose over time. So what you're going to want to do is replace the exhale valve on them. You can buy standardized exhale valves. Let's see if I can get this one out without damaging the mask. There we go. So what you need to do is just find an umbrella valve. That's what they're called, an umbrella valve, because they look kind of like an umbrella, in the right size for your mask. And then just replace them. And all you literally do is just kind of force them in. You normally have to pull them a bit from the other side to get them to go in. So if I can grip that on the other side. Just going to try and get this one in. Yeah, I'll be off in about 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, what you have to do is pull, you know, replace the valve there. Probably wasn't a good idea for me to demonstrate it on a mask like a C4, considering they are not the most common masks in the world. But yeah, that's what you need to do, is... Robot Man, it's completely up to you what mask you get next. But yeah, you want to basically just replace the umbrella valve. which is probably going to fix most of the problems, I'd imagine. But now I'm really regretting that I did it on the C4 and not mask, where it's really easy to just swap the exhale valve around. Oh, this is technically an inhale valve, so it doesn't matter too much if I've pushed this one out. Oh, no, wait, sorry, that is the exhale valve. It's probably that they're just saying it's a costume mask because of some rule to do with surplus on Amazon, I imagine. But they're literally not going to be costume ones because of how common the mask is. Oh, what, the Fallschirmjäger helmet history nerd? They're pretty cool. Coco, that is an absolutely brilliant comment. Thank you very much. I will show it to people just so they can gaze in amazement at your comment before I block you. Arsehole, thank you. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. I can always put some lubricant on it later on. But yeah, I'll do it when I'm not trying to stream, just because, yeah, what I need to just literally do is just pull the bottom bit without the rubber snapping through the hole again, you know, so it snaps closed. But yeah, basically, if you've got masks where the exhale valves or whatever are no longer working, you just need to get an umbrella valve that's the right size and replace them. They're pretty simple, you know, they're pretty simple replacements. On a lot of masks, it's just a really easy swap. It's just a bit annoying that when I pulled that one out, it turns out it doesn't want to go back in very well. But yeah, if you just literally search umbrella valve, I'll type it in the chat. You literally just, you want to find that, you want to find it in the right size for the mask. That's literally all you need. Because umbrella valves are put one way or the other to make, you know, like a one-way airflow seal. Lots of hardware stores should sell them, Wayland. I mean, it's going to depend where you are, but I'm pretty sure you can on eBay buy like multi-packs of them, you know, like where you get a container of them, and they go from very small to very large, you know, because they're used in sinks as well, umbrella valves. Oh, thank you very much, Radiac Maniac. I appreciate it. It will go a bit towards the bunker. But yeah, a massive thanks to everybody that's donated and all that this month, because I've had some really nice donations. Oh, and thank you as well, Atham Al-Ladukia. I'm probably butchering your name, but thank you very much as well. Gopnik Studio says, after they mined most of the uranium, they dumped all the radioactive waste in nature. It was one of them for some uranium, some place I measured almost 2. Bloody hell, 2 Rontgen per hour. Whereabouts is that? Well, that's crazy. Is that somewhere in Eastern Europe? But yeah, that'd be very interesting and kind of scary to take measurements from, wouldn't it? The idea that, yeah, 2 Rontgen per hour, 20 millisieverts per hour. Fuck. Yeah, some masks, Whaler, have slightly different sized umbrella valves and shaped umbrella valves than others. Because, like, Soviet masks have the kind of oblong shaped ones, the rectangle one. Oh, thank you very much, Marcus. Right, that's a shame it's leaking. If you still want to buy an M50 from me, I did dig out my M50. I can always send you pictures of it if you wanted to see it and that. But thank you very much for the donation. But do you like the FM53, other than the fact you're going to have to clean some battery acid out of it? But yeah, this is why you don't keep battery stored in battery compartments when you're not using something. If it's like, yeah, when you mean demilled, if you mean like a deactivated one, I think for 150 quid it'd be pretty fun just to lug around, wouldn't it? Let me look that up. I know there's a place in the Czech Republic where lots of the old pitch blende mining took place, wasn't there? Is it one of those where there's just lots and lots of the pitch blende? Let me just search pitch blende with that name and see if there's like, yeah, pitch blende from Pribram district. So yeah, apparently that's a thing where they used to mine a lot of the pitch blende, as in uranite ore or whatever it's called. Have you got some compressed air, Marcus? That might help. Right, quid AK-47 is like, if you're American, you know, you say buck for $1. Quid is like another UK slang term for £1 sterling. So our currency is pence, like 100 pence in a pound. Quid is just a slang term for a pound. You're just going to have to find some on eBay or wherever, History Nerd, because they're all like an obsolete type of filter. M10M and M10 filters are the same size. I mean, it's a cool thing to have, isn't it, Marcus, if it's not too much, just so you can hold a big rocket launcher up. But I know you could buy a DIAC shotgun, but still a massive DIAC rocket launcher, you know, like a big surface-to-air missile launcher is a pretty cool thing to just have around, just so you can show people. Robot Man says, is the Stalker gas mask people just a Soviet cheek filter gas mask without the cheeks? If you mean the one that's in a lot of Stalker games, that's basically a PBF, yes, basically. It's like a PBF with filters rather than cheek filters. The coolest DIAC one I saw for not silly money on D&B Militaria was the one that's called the Bumblebee or whatever it's called, like the Soviet napalm launcher thing. That was really cool looking. Let me search Bumblebee launcher and see if I can find the name of the actual weapon. The RPOA Schmel is the name of the actual thing. They had one of these on D&D Militaria, I think, for under 200 at one point. It was when I wasn't going to be spending any money on, any stuff like this. Rocket-assisted flamethrower. So basically, it's a napalm launcher as a rocket. But yeah, those are pretty cool. But yeah, you now and again get quite cool stuff like that, just turning up on deactivated gun sites, and other sort of launchers. Yeah, PPS 43s are lovely, aren't they? I mean, I'd obviously want a real one. I've got a PPS 41, PPSH 41, so that's why I've never had like a massive interest in getting a DIAC PPS 43. But yeah, the PPS 43 is one of the best World War II submachine guns ever built, just in terms of how cheap they were to build and like how reliable they were, and how essentially just good a submachine gun it was. Certainly would, TXE Gaming. Most military ones go from background levels to dangerous levels. So most standard Geiger counters, yes, measure background radiation. So as soon as something's higher than background, it will let you know. That's very interesting, inductive tea cake. I did not know that, but that's actually very interesting because there's not many that don't use Geiger-Müller tubes anymore for like little dosimeters. Yes, I have, Ricardo, as I've said before when people have asked, but unfortunately not when I did videos on this channel, otherwise there'd be a video. But I did a bolt-action 22 long rifle, and I have no idea what brand of it was, because it was just one of those, very generic. You have like a little tiny magazine with 22 long rifle rounds in it, and then you've got a bolt-action. I shot that at a farm, and the other one I shot was basically, I think it was a 20-bore single-barrel break barrel shotgun, where you just open it, you thumb in a 20-bore round, 20-gauge round, you close it, you shoot it, then you open it up again. I'll be on for like 5 minutes, TXE Gaming, then I'll be off. It could have been Ricardo, I really don't know, because I wasn't the one who owned it. It was just some people we used to have a farm, and then they said to me, oh, do you want to plink some cans with it when I was on their land? It literally, okay, I have no idea what it was. I know it wasn't a Ruger 1022 because it wasn't semi-auto. It was literally a bolt-action, very simple 22. Yeah, there's some weird things like that, isn't there? Like Lee Enfields in shotgun cartridges. There's also Lee Enfield grenade launchers, which are really weird. Yeah, I can't remember it kicking hard or not, Flazzy, but that's probably just because when I shot it was ages ago. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 20, not a 410. I'm pretty sure it was. But again, like I said, this is yonks and yonks ago. But obviously, 410 cartridges are damn small, aren't they? I should have a spent casing from a 410 here that I was sent, yeah. Obviously, that's a 410, isn't it? So that's not very big at all. I'm pretty sure it must have been 20, judging by the size of this. But as I said, I just can't remember because it's going back 2011, I would think. So a load of people say it's about load of the shell. Yeah, the one I shot, I didn't think hit very high. It was probably bird shot, I imagine, but certainly wasn't a slug. But it was just more like, here's some cans 20 yards away on the farm. You know, do you want 1 or 2 shots? Okay, you know, here's some ear protection. There you go. Have fun, you know. Right, that's it, kids. Stop playing with the guns. No, I do not have either of those helmets, Emilio. Yeah, I suppose it depends what you can get your hands on, Ricardo, because as I said, I don't have a Section 1 or a Section 2 gun license over here. So the only guns I've got are ones that you can own without a license if you're not shooting them. Like the Schmidt Rubin and the Martini Henry. And then again, I wouldn't shoot the Martini Henry because of the damage to the barrel, like the internal rusting and like the kind of gouge in the barrel. Hopefully Great Britain, but you never know, because a lot of this stuff won't ever get better, I don't think. But anyway, I'll head off in like 1 or 2 minutes. Massive thank you to everybody that donated this month. I did have a good birthday, for everybody asking, did I have a good birthday? So, yeah, tomorrow, for the people saying, will there be a stream Saturday? There normally isn't a stream Saturday. If I get back from work and I'm not really tired, there might be a chance I'll do a stream. But again, it really depends, because Weapon Collector's doing like a 2 or 3 hour Halloween video tomorrow. And I don't, if his video started, I'm not going to be doing the stream while that's on. So yeah, see everybody. A big thank you to everybody. And obviously it was this month as well that I first got membership on my channel. So massive thank you as well to people who joined up on memberships, because I think I've got 50-something members now. So yeah, see you everybody. Somebody's spamming the stream for some reason just before I go. So goodbye to them. And yeah, have a good evening, everybody, and I will see you next month, which is literally in a day or 2. You know, when I get a chance to stream. So yeah, probably won't get a chance to stream tomorrow on Halloween, but have a good evening, everybody else. See ya. Bye.